Peace, peace. Welcome to Profit and Purpose Live. Today we are talking about landing speaking gigs that pay you, how top executives find and hire you on LinkedIn. So this is going to be a LinkedIn masterclass for you all who are excited and looking forward to becoming profitable public speakers and consultants in 2025. I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit about ways to amplify your LinkedIn profile, but also how to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator as a sales tool so that you can find the decision makers that you want to work with. So do me a favor, put hashtag live in the comments if you are watching here and now, and put hashtag replay if you're watching in the near and dear future. I'm Evolve Benton, the Speaking for Profit strategist, and I help speakers and consultants just like you find stages and boardrooms to share your story and get paid to do it. I also support amazing folks like you in putting together digital products and assets that you can share with your communities so that you have multiple ways to make money, but also to impact the world from your expertise. And I have a community called Speaking for Profit University where we do all of this jam. And I've had the pleasure of working with some of the most diverse, impactful speakers and consultants around the United States and internationally the last 4 years to make six figures and more from their businesses. So thank you for being here, and thank you for trusting me with your most valued resource, which is your time. And we are going to get into it. Let's get into the conversation and let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn. So a few things before we even get into the strategy side, right? Because a lot of times folks are coming to me and they're like, I want to get on LinkedIn because I hear that decision makers are there. This is true. LinkedIn is the place where we have the majority of Fortune 500 companies living, Fortune 400 companies, nonprofits, any type of organization that you can probably think of is on LinkedIn. And most of the time, the decision makers who bring in speakers and consultants also live there as well. But in order for you to really build relationships with decision makers, it's important that you don't just see LinkedIn as a tool, but you see it as a place where you can build relationships. So if you haven't already, get your notebook out, right? Because we're getting into the gems. This needs to be a place where you're building relationships. So just like if you were to go out to a networking event or a conference and you would show up as your most authentic self, you show up smelling good with your favorite outfit on, I want you to think about your LinkedIn profile in that same way. And we're going to go through a few things that you can do to really set yourself apart from others. But before we even think about setting ourselves apart from others, we have to have confidence in who we are. And most of the times when I'm working with clients who are very shy about LinkedIn, it's because they started using it when they were just using it as a resume or to find a job. And I want you to know now, LinkedIn has so many tools available for you if you're a creator so that you can utilize it for far more than just finding employment, but actually building relationships with B2B, business to business. So I was on LinkedIn earlier today before this live session, and I was watching one of my homies, Walter, going live on the platform with someone and talking about how rest is needed in our businesses and within the well-beings of departments and organizations around the world. I've been on LinkedIn and I've had the opportunity to chill out while I'm on the couch, cuddling with my dogs and listen to audio events that are happening in there because you're able to do audio events as well. So a couple of years back during the pandemic, LinkedIn really set out to create a space for creators on the platform, and they invite you to be there. So there are several tools that you can use to create, and people want you to. So I don't want you to think that this is only a space for you to show up and show out with your resume. People want to see who you are, and people want to do business with you. And that's why I love the platform. I know that some people sometimes get a little bit exhausted of the platform because there's a lot of people sending messages. There's a lot of people pitching for business, but I love it because every day when I get a pitch from someone else, it shows me different ways that I can become better at sales in my business and better at marketing. And that's what we all should be exploring. We all should be thinking to ourselves, how do I become better at sales and marketing? Not because we're trying to be the biggest capitalists in the world, but because in order to be business owners, we have to grow our impact. So write that down. We have to grow our impact. And LinkedIn is the tool that allows us to do that. But we have to be building relationships. So the reason I brought up that I was watching the live with my friend Walter, I've done podcasts with Walter. He's come to support some of my events because he is a podcaster and a speaker. But when I was on the live, I was engaging in the comments. And through engaging in the comments, I met a couple of people and I added them and I connected them on LinkedIn. So as you're even here at this live session today, whether you're watching right now on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on LinkedIn, I want you to engage in the comments as well, because you don't know your next co-founder, your next collaborator, another business owner that you might be able to help might be here. So don't forget to always engage when you're on LinkedIn or any of these platforms. So let's get into the conversation, and then I'm gonna share some tea with y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. We're gonna get through most of this, but I know some of y'all are here because when I was marketing this, I also told y'all about how I had to call out a scammer recently, which is something I don't really like to do, but I do want to share with you all why it's important that you pick coaches and businesses that are really legit when you are spending your good hard-earned money. So let's talk a little bit about why LinkedIn and what a LinkedIn profile really is supposed to look like in order for you to be successful. So today we're going to cover how to optimize your LinkedIn profile to attract speaking opportunities. We're going to talk a little bit about Sales Navigator and how to set up your leads list if that's something that you want to utilize in order to get new business. And then we're going to also talk about how to engage with decision makers on the platform. So that's what we're going to cover during our training. 91% of event planners are going to go to your LinkedIn speaker's profile before they book you. It's so interesting, y'all. It's really something that happens, and it started to happen even more and more. I had a conversation recently with someone about potentially hosting an event in New York. I looked on my LinkedIn because you could see on LinkedIn, and they had looked at my profile right before we got on the call. And this has even happened to me when I've been on the market looking for jobs, right? I've had a job interview and then I could see that folks are looking at my profile. So know that that is the way where people are going to see if you're legit. They're going to start to click around and see some of the other things you've done. And the great thing about LinkedIn is it's based off of connections, so they're going to see who are you connected with that they might be able to check your Carfax with. So it's important that your profile is set up in a way that is successful. I want you to think about this. You only have about 7 seconds to make impact when it comes to your profile. A lot of people aren't going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. So it's important that the whole profile is complete, but really that the top is selling itself. So I'm going to share with you just a concept that we're thinking about when it comes to LinkedIn, and it is the headline formula that gets results. And I want to share my screen with you so that you could see this. And then I'm going to share with you a couple of LinkedIn profiles that I think are just set up amazingly. And also, if you want to go check me out on LinkedIn, you can share mine. But I always like to go to others because that's super helpful. So the headline section of your LinkedIn is that top section, right? So if we go over to here, this is Eric Thomas's profile. This would be considered the headline section here. That is the first thing that most folks are going to see on your profile to know who you are and what you do and how you can impact them and support their business. So the formula is your role or title, helping the target audience achieve a specific outcome through your speaking format. And we have some examples here. For folks who are here that are in Speaking for Profit Academy or the Speaking for Profit Circle, I'm going to drop this document within our community, so don't worry about it. For other folks, stay until the end, and I'll share with you a little bit about how you can join our communities if you want to get a little bit more detail from this training. So for example, it could be keynote speaker, helping tech companies drive innovation through interactive workshops. Or another example could be leadership expert, empowering Fortune 500 teams through dynamic keynotes. Award-winning speaker, teaching sales teams to close bigger deals through action-based training. So you want to talk about who you are and how you deliver the work, and how you impact organizations. And you want to give some bragging rights, right? So even if you notice, we were just on Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas is an amazing public speaker, and many folks know him. What did we start off with? New York Times bestseller of this book, You Owe You, #1 motivational speaker in the world, future Nobel Prize winner. So this is where we're giving our bragging rights, but we're telling people how we can support them. And I want you to think your headline should be updated anytime you're promoting something that is new so that people can know what you're working on and how your potential work might be able to support them. I'm going to show you another example of a headline. Remember, I mentioned my friend Walter. I was just supporting him on his live. But look at this: digital marketer by day, working while Black, advocate by night. I am the podcaster, right? Easy, easy breezy. One more so you all can see some other examples. Let me see. Let me bring one more person up. I'm going to show you Sammy. Sammy is a Speaking for Profit alum and an amazing speakers coach as well. So on Sammy's profile, I help leaders boost their speaking confidence to go to the next level. Public speaking coach and speaker, tech career consultant at Carnegie Mellon, ADHD coach and training. So we're leading with the way that we can support people. We're putting in some of the work that we do. Got to drop the Carnegie Mellon because everybody's going to be excited about that, right? People want to know how they can get in and maybe get some tech career support through that work. But this is really powerhouse, and you're going to want to make sure that your headline is amplified and that it's set up to really share with people not just what you do, but how you do it, and also give you some credibility, which is super, super important because we only have 7 seconds. Remember that. We only have 7 seconds. So now let's get into what's next, right? I want you to do this exercise for yourself. We're not going to do this right now because this is a quick live masterclass training, but take some time to go on and draft your headline by using this formula. If you're in the Speaking for Profit circle, or if you're in the Speaking for Profit Academy, you can get some feedback on that. If not, just go on and set it up and make sure that you have a complete LinkedIn profile. So next, we want to talk a little bit about the profile photo and best practices for that. So you want to make sure you have a professional headshot, high resolution photo if possible. You can get a high resolution photo from your phone. So it's really not a big deal for you to do that. A solid background, a natural smile. And that is 60% focused on your face. We really want to see your face. If possible, we want to see your eyes. We don't want to just see you on a horse and not be able to know that it's you. We want it to be up close. We want it to be a headshot. And here are some examples of some amazing photos that folks have shared. If you can see Sammy here, this is a photo. This actually is a photo that Sammy took at Speaking for Profit Live, which is our annual event that we host where we help speakers level up, but also folks get to hit the stage. So Sammy got to take this headshot photo. This is included within your ticket for Speaking for Profit Live, shameless plug. And then also has a photo here, which we'll get to the cover photo in a moment of her speaking on the stage. But let's go look at Eric Thomas as well, right? Another great example of a great photo. Eric Thomas, this is him speaking on stage. We can see his face card, as folks will call it. One of his shirts. I love this shirt because it has a message here. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, right? So this is one of his themes and things that he preaches all the time, right? So he's putting that here, and he's in the act of speaking. We can even see it in his neck, right? He's really in the act of performing. If you go over to my profile, I have my photo here, right? Looking into the camera, got on a nice suit, giving them a little bit of the sophisticated look. And then if we go over to, let's see, for example, let's go to one of my other clients. Let's actually go, because I seen Shauna here. Shauna has a good photo. Shauna's profile. This is an amazing photo as well, looking right at the camera, solid background, high resolution. So these are some examples of photos that you want to include. So things that you don't want to do, y'all, right? Because we always talking about what it looks good, but let's talk about what we don't want to do on LinkedIn, which is just as important. We do not want to put pictures of ourselves in hats or in masks or in disguises that don't allow us to show our face card. We don't want to give them a side look where we only see the side of our face and they're not able to see our eyes. We don't want far away photos. We don't want old photos that don't have high resolution. We don't want photos where we don't look happy or we don't look excited to be able to do the work. I'm not saying you have to smile or be fake, but you genuinely should be in the act of selling, which means you should be in the form of being happy, at least smiling with your eyes. And we don't want group photos. This is not a place for a group photo. This is an individual profile. So if you do have a group that is in your business, you can set up a business profile on LinkedIn. But when you have your individual profile, it should just be a photo of you, not a photo of you and your kid, not a photo of you and your dog, just simply a photo of you. That's what you want to do for LinkedIn. So I want to show you the cover photos as well. But before we get into that, let's just talk about the banner and why it's important. So the banner in the cover photo is the photo that goes up behind you on your profile. So if you see here on Sammy's profile, it's right here. It's this photo right here that is behind your actual headshot. And the reason this is such an important piece of real estate is we want to remember the 7-second rule. People see this the most. So this should be publicizing what you have going on right now in your business and what you want people to purchase, buy, or commit to. What you want them to purchase, buy, or commit to. So for Sammy, is talking about Speak Y'all, public speaking coach, entrepreneur, is giving everybody a piece. And literally she's in this photo speaking. So folks can know, hire me to speak. I'm ready to go. That is what I am here for. This is our billboard on LinkedIn. So we can change this as things come up. I've seen people change this if they're promoting a book or a documentary or a new lead magnet or a new course or even a new signature talk. And I want you to use that as well. Your headline and your actual photo of yourself probably will stay the same for a while. But this photo can change as you begin to market other things within your business that you want your customers or future customers to see, right? So this is what Sammy's looks like. Let's go look at a few others. So if we go over to Eric Thomas, keep using him as an example because he's one of my favorites. He has his book here, right? Because that is what he's right now promoting is his book. I'm sure if you screen capture this QR code, it'll probably take you over to a link to purchase the book. So he's using this as that. We can't go back and see what he had before, but I'm sure that he had things here that were connected to whatever he was offering. Inky Johnson is another amazing speaker. As you can see, Inky has his photo here of him actually speaking with his logo. This is a beautiful photo, a great way to capture that I want to be hired as a speaker. And then let's even look at Lisa Nichols, right? Because another amazing speaker. And look what Lisa has here, a photo of her on the stage speaking. So you wanted to showcase what you're ready to do and what you're selling. That's what you want, right? Look at this. We got a bunch of cool speakers and communicators. Here is Stephen Bartlett. He is the founder of the Flight Fund, but I believe he has a podcast called The Diary CEO. Oh yeah, here it goes right here. So look, this is what he is currently promoting. So this is your billboard. Use it as such. If you need support in creating these type of assets, you can use Canva. It's one of my favorite places to create assets for LinkedIn because it makes it easy and it's usable and user-friendly. So check out Canva, or you can also hire someone right on Upwork or any of those other places to be able to support you when it comes to that. So there's 3 things when we are starting our LinkedIn profile. Look at this. I love this. LinkedIn is rolling out the scrolling banner, so we got multiple banners planned to leverage this soon. Okay, that's great. That's cool to hear, Lon. Thank you so much for sharing that. I can't wait to see that. It's going to be a great benefit. So we have the LinkedIn photo. That's your face card. People know who you are. I was recently going on a trip with my partner, and we ran into someone who knew me off of Facebook. And the reason they knew me is because they know my face card. And they're like, "You always go live. I've only seen you live on Facebook, never seen you in real life." And it was a cool moment. So people will see your face card, and that's something consistently want people to see, because you are becoming the most amazing speaker in the world. And then you have your headline, which you're going to share with people what you do and how you support them. And then you have that amazing banner photo, right? So and then, Lon mentioned that we're going to have rolling banners eventually, which is going to be even better for us to have multiple ways to be able to promote what we're doing right now. So those are the photo, headline, 3 aspects that are the most important. The next thing that we're going to get into is your about section and your features section. But before we get into that, if you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, I want you to do me a favor. If you are liking what I'm putting down and this is helpful, I want you to go on and like or subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Please do that. That helps us to continue to grow our impact, grow our audience, grow this amazing business. And if you're watching anywhere and you know that someone else can benefit from this, I want you to share this with them. Go on and send this to them in their emails. Go on and send this to them text message. Go on and share it on your profile. Share it with other people that you know need to optimize and amplify their LinkedIn profiles and who want to get discovered by decision makers. Go on and share that with them. So let's get into what we should have within our profiles. And do me a favor, if you're here watching now and this is helpful for you, put the word love in the chat. It's always good to get some love when you're presenting, and it's extremely helpful. So we just got done talking about the banner, right? And let me make sure I'm sharing my screen so I can see this. We just got done talking about the banner image. It could be an action shot of you speaking, like we talked about, event audience visible, professional stage setting, include speaking topics, right? So we've seen several examples of that. Now let's talk about your about section. And for folks, like I said, if you're in a Speaking for Profit University, you will get access to this. You want to start off with your signature story and state your mission. You want people to know who you are, what you do, and why it's important to you. And you want that to be in your about section at the top so that everyone can know if they should continue reading. It's just like any other piece of content or marketing. We got to have a hook. We got to have a way to bring people in so that they keep going and that they keep reading your about section. Section 2, and look, let's go on and bold these. Section 2 should be your speaking topics, and you want to use bullet points. What are the top 3 to 5 core topics that you want to speak about, and how are you going to support your audience? You want to include your target audience and your method of delivery. So is this a keynote presentation? Is it a panel? Are you an MC? Are you a host? How are you delivering this current topic? You want that to be included in your next section. Your third section should be your proof of credibility. And that's going to include notable clients and events that you've spoken at. That can also include any speaking awards that you have. Like, for instance, Yahoo Finance gave me an award for the top 10 public speaking coaches in 2020. That would be something that I may include there. I've spoken at several universities, including some of the top medical schools in the world. That might be something that I include. And then number of presentations that you've done. I've probably done over 1,000 at this point. I don't even know. I haven't even kept count. And any impact metrics that you may have, which may be, maybe you did a survey during your speaking engagement. How were folks feeling before? How were they feeling after? If you were able to support with getting butts in the seats, like getting more people to show up, guaranteed retention, whatever it may be, you want to include that in section 3. And then section 4 is going to be your call to action. And here you're going to have clear next steps, how to book, and a calendar link. Now, for some of you, you have a busy schedule and you might not be able to just put a calendar link, but at least it should take them over to the ability to book. Maybe that's a contact form with basic information like name, email, phone number, description of the event, budget, all of that. But they need to know what are the next steps are. Some common things that I see in the about section that sometimes do not convert well is giving people multiple call to actions. I want you to like my page, and then I want you to download my lead magnet and then book me to speak. We got to be clear and give people one thing to do, because if we give people multiple things to do, especially our customers, then that will make them have decision fatigue and they will not move forward. So we want to give them one call to action, one clear call to action. What do you want them to do? What's the next step now that they have taken the time to read your amazing about section and committed to that? So those are the 4 sections that you should include. Let me share one with you that I think is really well written. And it's going to be Sammy's. Let me see where Sammy's about is. Look at this. So Sammy starts off with a solid hook. You haven't been speaking up, have you? You're excited and ready for your next career, right? Makes you want to click and keep going through it. You know your career is when the grass, you need 3 things. Already going into the content: expert feedback, accountability, and dedicated practice. Look, we're getting into the credibility. I've helped leaders from ASW, Microsoft, Oracle, PNC, IBM, right? Here's what my clients have said about me. How can I help you? Here are my speaking topics. Here are the things that I do. Are you ready to get rid of your fear of public speaking for all? DM me, coach, or contact me at Speak Y'all. Now, this is 2 call to actions, but it's giving people 2 ways to do the call to action. It's not 2 completely different things. So this is perfect. It's simple. We're using some of the aspects and emojis to be able to support us to break up some text, which is so important on LinkedIn. And it's getting straight to the point. So this is a great about section, and it screams, I'm ready to help you speak, which is even better. So great job, Sammy. And I just want y'all to see that, how you can set that up. Some of you have it right now where it's just in paragraph form, and that might work for you in your industry, but being able to separate things so that people can actually see them and see where we're going into different sections can really help people to not only consume the information, but to continue reading so that they eventually will get to your call to action. So that's what you really want out of an about section. You want it to be strong and you want it to be successful. You want to make sure that that section screams you, but screams you in your business. Sometimes y'all get too personal. Like, it's cool to have one line about your kid and your dog and their favorite movie. But real talk, we are here to handle business. So you should be sharing with people how you can be the top speaker or consultant in your field and make the most impact. Don't be afraid to brag. Do not be afraid to brag. People, you are expecting people and organizations to invest in you with their hard-earned capital. This is the time to impress them so that they feel ease when they're making that decision. So your about section is so important. So before we get into the last part of this training, which will be your feature section, and then we'll talk a little bit about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. This is going longer than I expected. So what we'll probably do is next week really get into pitching on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. This week, I'll just show you how to create a leads list. But before we get into the final section, I want to share something with you all about the scammer, right? I told you all that I would tell you a little bit about the scammer situation that I had. I keep using the word scammer in this particular way because it's unfortunate, but we live in a world now where people are more fearful of being called scammer than actually fearful of not doing good business. I'm fearful of not doing good business. I'm fearful of not showing up for my clients. I don't like knowing I owe my client something and then be doing something else, or knowing I owe my client some support and I'm over here posting pictures of cars I've bought. I don't like stuff like that. For me, that's more scary for me than even being called a scammer. No one's ever called me a scammer, and even if they did, it wouldn't matter because I'm not. But I'm more interested in making sure that I do really good work that has integrity and I'm able to support my clients as much as possible, trying to get over people. So y'all might have seen on my profile, I think I archived it on Facebook, but I shared a post about someone who I purchased a product from in 2024 who never gave me the product. It was a horrible client onboarding. They said it was going to be available. It wasn't available for a month. It wasn't available for another month. They would pop up on Zoom and do trainings, but never get on camera. And then, not saying you have to, but if you're leading the training, you need to be on camera, fam. It seems scammy when you're not. They wouldn't be on camera. They were recorded, not give us the recording. It was just a pure SIT. SHIT. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to say it. SHIT show, right? It was pure that. It was pure that, y'all. It was pure that. So finally, I told the person, I need a refund. Give me a refund. This is not working out. Please. They agreed to it in several different ways, via text message, via email. So fast forward, I thought I got the refund, which was my fault because I didn't really look into it. I just said, okay, it's been processed. Fast forward to this year, top of this year, I'm looking through the books with my CPA. My CPA is like, what's this purchase? And I'm like, hold up, that should be refunded. So then she goes through the books and she's like, it hasn't been. So of course I'm perturbed at that point. And that is why I said, you know what? This has got to stop now. Now, let me rewind a little bit for y'all with this scammer. This person not only didn't deliver all of the products and services that they said, but it was so bad that I was blowing up their community. Right? I'm that person. I'm that student. I was like, hey, we never got this. Can you make sure you email it? I'm being like TA. I'm teacher's assistant. People see me in that community doing that and they added me. So I'm friends with them. They might even be potential clients in the near and dear future, but they felt that I was being a leader in that space. At least 10 of this person's clients, 10 people emailed me and said, hey, Evolve, I haven't gotten my products or services yet. Did you get a refund? Should I request a refund? Should I request a chargeback? This isn't feeling good. 10 people, y'all, sent me an email about this person. So not only did they burn Evolve, they burned a whole bunch of other people as well. So I'm sharing this with you because I called them out on Facebook as a scammer because I did feel like it was a scam. It wasn't about me feeling like I didn't get what I paid for, which I felt that way with working with people. I still don't believe those were scams. Sometimes what you sign up for and what you can commit to are two different things. But this person literally is doing all this, taking people's money, and then he's posting on Facebook and other places that got bought a car and making money with ease and all this stuff. And he out here not having good client delivery. So I say this to y'all because many of you all are going to take these tools that I'm sharing with you today about LinkedIn, or maybe you're on my YouTube channel and you've been watching trainings all day because I got over 500 videos on YouTube right now. If you haven't went over to the Speaking for Profit YouTube, please check it out, like and subscribe. But these tools can help you get connected with people. These tools can help you change the world. But if you don't have integrity and you don't deliver the product or service, it doesn't matter. So don't start to take these tools and put that you worked with this person and that person and build up this persona of credibility if you're not going to actually over deliver. It is a disservice to me as a business owner because then other people don't trust business owners like myself. It is a disservice to you, and it's a disservice to our industry as speakers and consultants for us to not show up for our clients. So I was very upset with that, y'all. So I and the thing is this, what really made me even more upset and why I decided to put this out publicly, because I normally don't like to put things out publicly about people. I really do try to protect people's businesses because I know people work hard. But what really disturbed me about this was I had reached out to this person in several different ways, requested the refund. And until I started blasting the social media about them being a scammer, I didn't hear from them. As soon as I posted on there, this person is a scammer, and started posting it on their profile, then they reached out to me and said, "Hey, what's going on? Let me see how I can get this refund." Why does it take that? Why does it take that you're embarrassed in public for you to actually commit and to do the things that you sign up for? So I wanted to share that with y'all. That's my story of the week. Yeah, I know I always have a story for y'all. And just have a pause in between the content and the information to give y'all a purpose talk, right? Because this is Profit and Purpose Live. That is the segment that we do every Tuesday. I'll be doing training and development with y'all. We'll be bringing on interviewers that we can interview and have this conversation with. But I always want to give y'all a little bit of purpose, because profit is great, but if you don't have integrity within your business, it doesn't really matter. So do me a favor, write the word integrity into the chat, whether you're watching this live or later on. Write the word integrity because it's just so important. So I wanted to share that with y'all. This thought that, some people might have seen that and been like, Evolve out here calling out scammers. Wow. I am, because I'm serious about this, and I think you all should be as well. All right, great. See some integrity coming through. Integrity is so important. Want to use these tools for good. We only want people who are going to use these tools for good. So we talked about the top four pieces of your LinkedIn profile. But now I want to share one more piece with you, and that's your featured section. And then I'll share a little bit of how to create a leads list on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So your feature section, and I'll share mine. Right, let's go to my profile. See right here, business growth strategist. My LinkedIn is set up in particularly to drive people towards me who might have positions in tech sales. So if you are watching this and you are in tech sales and you are liking what I'm vibing with, I would love to work for your company to be able to support you in changing the world and selling more of your products and services. So I'm looking for a sales development representative position right now. So that is what my LinkedIn profile is amplified for. It's also amplified for the work that I do as a professional speaker and growth strategist coach, which is what I do at Speaking for Profit. But this is really for tech sales right now. So I want to show you my featured section. This is my featured section. I have some of the top content that I've done around public speaking, an article that I wrote on finding clients on LinkedIn, which is the conversation we're talking about today. And this is important because this is another billboard that you can use for yourself. I've seen people do some really cool stuff with this. So let's look at what Eric Thomas has going as well. I'm sure he has something in his featured section. So, let me make sure I'm sharing the screen. Sorry, y'all. There we go. I didn't share y'all mine. So let me go back because I was not sharing my screen when I went to that. So this is my feature section here. I have a little bit about Speaking for Profit Academy, which is our core 4-month program. Help speakers make 6 figures and more from public speaking and consulting. More content around public speaking as a skill set. An article that I wrote around finding clients on LinkedIn, which is what we're talking about today. And then I was saying that my banner photo and my headline is all to attract folks who are interested in tech sales or hiring a sales development rep, which is a role that I am wanting to acquire right now on LinkedIn. So this is my feature section. We wanted to feature things that are the top considerations that you want people to click on to see that you're legitimate. I've had in the past here videos of me speaking, poetry when I was promoting my book. I've even had this section be a training that I have. So it really just depends on what you're promoting, but this is another way for you to have a billboard on your page. So if we go over to Eric Thomas, he has his set up. And he has a feature section as well. He has his educational series that he wants to guide people to, the voiceover that he did for the NBA, which is going to give him credibility, and then another one of his speeches as well. We go over to Sammy's profile because we've been looking at Sammy's as well. Shouts out to Sammy for being amazing. Down to Sammy's feature section, an interview that Sammy did, Sammy's services, and Sammy's media kit. So your feature section is important because this is another place where you can share some of that information on LinkedIn, and people, right? That 7-second rule. We just scroll once, twice, we get down to the feature section. So we're able to see that. The other reason I like the feature section, y'all, is like it's right under services. And sometimes it's about kind of gets looked over. So this is another way for you to describe some of the things that you have going on in your about section so that people are able to see that. Okay, great. So remember, the top things we want to have is we want to have a great headshot and photo, great banner photo that expresses what we do. Want to make sure that our headline is aligned for the folks we're trying to attract. And then we also want to make sure that we have a great feature section. Now, I want to show you LinkedIn Sales Navigator. LinkedIn Sales Navigator, y'all, is a premium version of LinkedIn. And what we've done here at Speaking for Profit, which is really cool, is that we've created a way where you can use LinkedIn Sales Navigator with our lead gen app to connect with more people. So I'm going to show you how to do this organically, how you can create more of a list. And then next week, so come back next week, next Tuesday, I'll show you how you can use this within our lead gen app. But for today, I just want to show you how you can connect with leads. So if we go over to LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it's going to be here at the top right of your page. We're in the back end of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. We're going to do a lead filter. And what I'm going to do, because I want to get some work done with y'all, I'm interested in being connected to more people who are in sales, particularly sales managers of tech companies. So that's the lead list that I'm going to build today. And then I'm going to show you next week how I'm going to upload it into our lead gen app, right? So I'm going to take you through the process. So I'm going to go to lead filter. Within the search section, I'm going to put sales and technology. Let's just see what comes up. And for folks who don't know what I did, let me just go back, right? I'm in the Sales Navigator. I go to the search section and I click on lead filter. And then in the search keywords, when I get there, I'm going to put in sales and technology. We've already got some people popping up, 4 million results. But we want to be this to be a little bit more directed. So this is where we get into the lead filter. The first section here is the current company. So let's say I wanted to reach out to people in sales and technology that were only at Microsoft. I could add Microsoft. And then this is going to give me everyone at Microsoft that's connected to sales and sales development, right? But maybe I want it to be a little bit broader. So for me, I'm going to do Microsoft. I'm going to do Google. I'm going to do Amazon. I'm going to do, let's see, what other companies do they have here? I'm also going to do Amazon Lab. I'm going to do, I'm going to do Yahoo, eBay, Amazon Web Services. We'll do Apple as well. I've seen Apple pop up. Okay, we're gonna do Meta. I heard some really good things about VMware. I actually did a talk for them a couple of years back. I think they do like satellite work. So we'll do them. NVIDIA is how you say it. Yep, NVIDIA is a great company. Who else should I do? What are some other tech companies? Let's see if we just put in tech. Got some future things. Future of education, Black women talk tech, lesbians who tech, out in tech. We'll do out in tech as well. Okay, great. So we've got a pretty good group of companies, 55K, and most of these folks are going to either have sales or technology in their titles, right? So we've created a list. And now we're going to go down to company headcount. And I'm going to include companies that are larger. So 500 to 1,000. We'll also do 10,000 and up, 5,000 and up. Perfect. I'm not going to do self-employed because we don't want folks who are self-employed. Past companies, we're not going to do that. But this is a great tip. If you want people who've worked at those places in the past, but maybe work at a particular place now, you can include that. Company type. I'm going to do public company. Also do privately held, just in case some of those pop up. And if there is a nonprofit sector, we'll add that in as well. Okay. So we've got that. Function. We're not going to do function, but we are going to do current title. And we're going to put in sales. So that could be sales specialist, of course. Sales manager. Sales executive. We're also going to do account executive or account manager and account executive because those are folks that are usually going to be a sales development representative, which is what I'm looking for, would be reporting to an account executive. So it's always good to know. So now we've got 2,000 results. Remember, before we put in these titles, we had over 55K, but we want it to be a little bit smaller so we can key in on who we're trying to reach out to. We could also put in past job titles if we wanted to, seniority level, right? If we want to make sure we were including people, not include people who are in entry level, we could do that, exclude them. I've seen people do that. We want to not include people in training, or maybe you're looking to reach out to people in training, you could use that as something as well. And then you can include locations. I'm going to keep the locations open. You can also include industries that you may be interested in, you know, depending on what industry you're looking at. You can include names if you know people's names and you're searching for them, years of experience, groups, and all of that. Now, the way that I like to do it is the base connections off of people that I know first and second degree. So if I put first degree, it's only one person because I don't know a lot of people probably in sex sales yet. I put second degree, let's see what it opens up to, about 826 results. So I probably would start with my second degree, even though it's not as big as like when I do third degree, which opens it up to thousands, I believe. LinkedIn is all about connections. So I rather connect with this 800 and then come back in to add in more, because most people who are in the third degree connections are not going to want to reach out and connect with me because they don't know me. You could also include group members, right? So if you're in particular groups, you want to include them. I think that that's great as well. So I'm going to include that. So this is my list that they also have connections of. So you can look and be connected to people of. So I could put in, like, for instance, Sammy. We're talking about Sammy today. People were connected to Sammy, which is really cool. You could see people who are like past colleagues. You could add people who have shared experiences with you, people who've changed their jobs, people who've posted on LinkedIn recently, people who've been mentioned in the news. They have all these different workflows that you can consider within LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So for you as a speaker, right, this is how you create the list. But for you as a speaker, Salesforce, yes. Lon, that's another good one. I'm going to add that to the list. Thank you, Lon. Let me go back up here, include Salesforce. Okay, great. So for you as a speaker, right, you can use this by looking up organizations that you want to speak at and finding the folks and then adding them and reaching out to them and getting in conversation. But you're going to be looking at different titles. And I want to give you some of those titles so you can think about it. I want to give you some of those titles for you to write down so that you can think about it. So for you, you're probably going to be looking at program managers, event managers, assistant directors, program creators, right? Program coordinators, assistant directors, event planners, event managers, training specialists. All of these titles are people who put on events. And if you've already spoken at an event, go back in that email. What was that person's title that gave you the gig? Look up that title as well, because that's probably the title in your industry. Conference planner, conference organizer, conference board member. All of those are going to be important. So now that we have a list of people, what can we do with this list? We can save it. So we save our search, right? This allows us to have the search saved so we can go back to it. But now we can add these people. So I can select all, I can save them to a list, or I can go individually. Connect with this person. Let's say Marcelo. I can go to the profile. Okay, you see what the profile looks like. Okay, great. Been at Google for a while. Save that person, send them a message, and connect. I could do the same thing with John. Okay, John is in Cloud Sales. Cool. Let me click on the profile, see what John is up to. Save, send a message, and connect. Now, with our app, this is what you can do organically just by having LinkedIn Sales Navigator, just by having this set up on the back end. It's about $99 a month on LinkedIn. LinkedIn does not give me no kickback for this. It has just worked for me and my business and my clients, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. But now that you have this set up, if you had our lead gen app, you can upload this list to the app and set up automated messages that will be sent out to connect. So while you're at your 9 to 5, or while you're relaxing with your family or taking your dog out for a walk, your LinkedIn can still be adding on connections. That is what I want to show you next week. I want you to show up next week so that you can get access to how to use the app, which will speed up the progress and also put you in a position where you don't have to do this organically, which can be time consuming. Now, the great thing about LinkedIn Sales Navigator is you got the list. Once you got a list, you can do a whole lot with that. But I want to teach you how to speed it up a little bit so that you can save time. Because the truth is, most of you are speakers and consultants, and you need to be on the stage. You need to be in a boardroom. You need to be changing the world with your voice. You don't have time to be clicking around, adding people and doing all that. You have time for it because you have to make time for it in your business, but that's not where you want to spend the majority of your time. So we're going to talk about that next week. Now, for folks who are in the Speaking for Profit Circle in the Academy, you're going to get access to this document I just went over. But for the folks who haven't joined us yet, I want to give you an opportunity to join us. So if you want to join the Speaking for Profit Circle, you're going to go over to www.school.com/wealthyspeaker/about. And that is going to take you to the Speaking for Profit Circle. Within the Speaking for Profit Circle, we have three things. We have a course that's called the Signature Talk Mastery, and that supports you in creating your first signature talk and showing you how to create it, deliver it, and monetize it in less than a week. The course is very short. It's very action oriented, so it's easeful for you. 2, you get these weekly trainings with me, but you always get the assets, the templates that come along with the training, and an ability to ask questions at a monthly Q&A. You get that as well. 3, you have one of the most diverse speaking and consulting communities in the world. We have people from different parts of the country. We have people who are there who are diverse in their identity, diverse in their thought process. So if you're looking for a diverse group of people to learn and grow with, the Speaking for Profit Circle is amazing for you. It's $100 a month to join the community, or you can pay $7.99 to join us for the year. If you go to this link, it will give you access to go on and join. I know for some of you, you're not looking for a community. Some of you are looking for a mastermind and accountability. You want to jumpstart this thing and you are ready to create something that's profitable in the next quarter. That is Speaking for Profit Academy, which is our mastermind community. We have 2 calls a week where we meet on Zoom. We have a monthly mastermind where we talk about expert topics like getting on a TEDx stage, how to set up your own customer relationship management system in your business, how to set up a follow-up process, how to leverage your speaker's reel and testimonials. We really go into the 2.0 of being a speaker. The circle is for beginners. The academy is for people who are ready to scale. But the academy is only application based. We don't have a link for it. So if you would like an application to the academy, I want you to text the word S for P, S4P, S then 4 as in the number, P to 323-405-9492. And we'll send you over an application. You and I can get on a call and see if we are actually compatible to work together in this partnership so that I can support you at scaling that. So those are the ways that you get access to the template that I was sharing today in more detail on our training. 2 ways. Join the Speaking for Profit Circle by going to school, $100 a month, or you can join us in the academy if you know that you need more accountability and support. Now, for some of you, you're like, Evolve, I don't have money. This is a hobby. I'm just getting started. Head over to our YouTube channel, Speaking for Profit University. If you're watching here now, like and subscribe. I post videos every week to support you in monetizing your message. If you want something for free, YouTube is where it's going to be. All right. All right, I'm back. I don't know how that happened, but I'm still back in here, which is really exciting. Let me see if my audio is connected. Okay, cool. So I hope that this is helpful, y'all. I hope that today's training was helpful and really got you to thinking about how to add integrity to your process, but also how to set up your LinkedIn profile. Next week, right? Next week, we're going to come back together and we are going to talk about how to utilize your lead list within the Lead Gen app. So we're going to talk about messaging. We're going to talk about automation. We're going to get a little geeky in here. We're going to call it a demo. I'm going to do a demo of the Lead Gen app so that you all can see it and see how to work it. And what we're going to do is we are going to use the actual list that I shared with y'all today. This list that we just created for me to reach out to tech sales managers, we're going to use that within the Lead Gen app, right? And I'm going to show y'all how to set it up organically. So join me next week. If you need access to that, go on and text the word SPEAK to 323-405-9492. And when we go live next week for our free training, you'll get an email about it or a text message about it that will share with you more information about joining me live next Tuesday. So I hope that this was helpful, y'all. This has been an amazing time to spend time with y'all and talk a little bit about LinkedIn, which is one of my favorite places. If you are on LinkedIn and we are not connected yet, we should be connected. So please find me on the platform, connect with me. I would be honored to be in space with you. And until next time, peace.